What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And from somebody who's created two separate multiple six-figure businesses, I'm about to make a bold statement, which is that business plans are extremely overrated. I think that it's a common newbie move for new entrepreneurs to go to entrepreneur events, go to business school, and all these people are focused on their business plan. And these are all people that have never actually made a single cent from a company that they've created. What I believe that they're doing, why people get so obsessed with the business plan around their new business that they're coming out with, is because I think that it gives you an inflated view of your predicted future success. It makes you feel like it's all going to work because you planned it out. And there's a great quote by Mike Tyson, which is, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And as an entrepreneur, within the first week of starting up your business, you're going to get punched in the face multiple times. And the way that I view this instead, and what I want to talk to you about in this video, is how when you start up a business, every single week, you're going to have massive paradigm shifts in the way that you view things and the way that you want to move forward. You're going to change up your marketing strategies. You're going to test new things out. You're going to have new ideas that shake up your whole business. And that original business plan that you had, likely by week 2, will be out the window, and you basically have to start over from scratch. So I want to talk to you about the things that are really important to plan out for your brand from the very beginning that actually matter and that will really help give you the vision that you need to pull this off. So I hope you enjoy. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. Designs are something that you struggle with. I really recommend that you give them a shot. These designs here all sell like fire through my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. So one of my mentors runs a clothing brand called Indestructible MFG, and his clothing brand does well over 7 figures per year in sales. And I talk to him a few times a month. And literally every single time I talk to this guy, he's got some new marketing strategy that he's putting in place for his brand. Something new that he's testing out. And he's got some new software that he's using. He's got these new ideas about how to market and grow his brand. And I think that this is how raw, natural entrepreneurs work. Rather than what most of these new entrepreneurs who have never sold anything before are doing, where they're working on their business plan for 6 months, ironing out all these little details about what they're going to do when they haven't tested anything, they don't even have any feedback yet. It's more about actually just doing, getting feedback, and reacting and responding to the feedback that you're getting and adapting so that you're getting better and better results. Now, obviously, I do believe that there are some things that you should be planning. There are some things that you definitely want to get clear on if you're in the pre-launch phase, you haven't launched your brand yet. But the primary thing that you should be planning when you're developing your brand before you've launched it is 80%, 85% just figuring out your product market fit. Exactly who you're going after, what subculture they're in, knowing your demographic formally and informally. And what I mean by this is formally, you should be able to write out and know which ages you're going after. Are you going after people who are 15 to 20 years old? Or are you going after people who are 30 to 40? Are they ages 20 to 30? Are they male, female? Where do they live? Which locations do they live in? All those demographics, that's the formal side that you should definitely be able to lay out and write all of that out clearly. And then on top of that, the informal side are things more like, what's the subculture that you're going after? Intuitively knowing this. What are the interests that the people you're going after are into? What is the actual culture that you're aiming your clothing brand towards? This stuff is the most important thing that you can be planning out. The reason why getting clear on who you're going after and the culture that you're targeting, the product market fit, is so important is because that is going to be the foundation for all of your brand direction. You're going to be taking action from that foundation. And so once you have that figured out, once you've nailed that, you've decided on a niche, you've decided on who exactly you're going after, then it's more so just about taking action and building your brand around all of that. And all of this is going to come with failures, things that you run into that you weren't expecting, that you could have just never predicted inside of a business plan. And when it comes to planning your marketing strategy should be fluid, 100%. It should always be open to change. Nobody had TikTok in their business plan back in 2019. The businesses who capitalized on TikTok's organic growth were the ones who saw this new social media platform because their ears were to the streets. They were looking at what's working and they just started implementing. They just started taking action on it. And all of the businesses who had these formal business plans that they were rigidly sticking to, all of them would have missed that opportunity because they were just stuck in their ways. They weren't actually in tune with what was working. I realize that this is something that you probably don't hear a lot. And even when it comes to the launch of your brand, most successful entrepreneurs will tell you that the launch of your brand really doesn't matter all that much, the way that you go about launching it and all that stuff, because after you launch, that's when the real work begins. And it's people who have never really had the experience yet, where it's your first time business, that tend to overvalue things like the initial launch of their brand and their business plan and all these things. And you know, I was exactly that way when I started out my first company as well. The first company that I thought that I was building took me literally 3 years. I was building it behind closed doors. Nobody had seen it. I was too afraid to show anybody. And I had all these business plans and all these analytics and everything that I was gonna do. 3 years go by. I finally launched this website that I created, and it was just like, I had maybe like a few thousand people to the site, and then it was just crickets after. And what do you do in that situation? Well, a real entrepreneur would have just launched and then he'd just adapt and problem solve from that point out, right? And that's how you get to the results, is through problem solving from that point out, rather than having everything laid out from the very beginning where everything's just going to go perfect in our imagination. That's how we want it to go. And until you've experienced this, it's really hard to process. So to give this to you straight here, when it comes to your business plan, if you're a new brand just starting out, the one thing, just get clear on your vision, get clear on what your brand is attempting to do and who you're going after and who you want to sell to. That's by far the most important thing that you can do when you're getting started. Getting clear on that. That's something that so many entrepreneurs don't do, especially when they're starting clothing brands, is they don't really know exactly who they're selling to and exactly what their brand's going to be all about. That's what you want to focus your time on. When you do that, then take all of your actions from this place to try and create the best experience possible for those customers. Problem solve along the way when it comes to your marketing strategy, and that's the real way to execute on a business plan and get results in entrepreneurship. If you got a lot of value out of this video, please hit the like button for me. It really helps me get these videos out there. And let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. You can watch the whole thing for free. And if you made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.